tonight. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up. This is the Spring Framework Users Group. We meet every third Wednesday of the month right here at Improving Enterprises. I'd like to thank them for the pizza and providing the room. First order of business, anybody from any other user group have any announcements? I guess people would normally, yes? Okay, people that normally do the announcements aren't here today, so we'll get right into it. Our speaker tonight is Gautam Dev. He'll be talking on Restful web services and within ExtJs front end. And I'll hand it over to Gautam.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, today I'll be talking about building web applications with RESTful web services and ExtJs front end. And it's going to be more demo, code running, coding, and then a sample demo, not much presentation. So presentation is just quickly flyby. So this will be the outline pretty much, how to create a RESTful web service with Spring. Then some overview of ExtJs, is a very prominent JavaScript library framework. Then we'll try to marry these two technology and produce a beautiful offspring with a sample web application. And then I'll also see this is with my plugin, how can you automate some of the code. So Spring makes it very easy to create RESTful web service. In RESTful web service, you basically have a resource. Everything is like a resource. Like person will be a resource. So all the action around person are the HTTP methods. You don't say get person, save person, but those are the methods on the same resource. So this makes this class will make a person resource available on on a container with Spring. These two annotation controller makes it a Spring bean. And request mapping, the value whatever you give, that will be available on the server. So how do you see? Okay, let's go through it for now. Then maybe get a list of get a list. Actually, this is you do not have to put a list there. It can be just from person. So you can see the method is a request method get and get persons. Then you put your code inside. Then create a person. Only thing difference is the request method post. You post and then you see the returning with an annotation. You can return an object or a map and it will convert to a JSON formatted string or XML formatted string. And you see the parameter request body person. On the incoming side, it will convert a XML string or JSON string to a person object. With that being said, let's go to the code right away. So you see, this is the person controller, and we have request mapping as the person. Okay, so how does it work? So I have it all up and running on Tomcat. So this is person. I made a request person, and can you read this? We got one result back with my name. This is one record, my name. Okay. And database, if you can look at the database also, this is the only record. Okay. So as I said, request mapping post will create a new request, okay? So you have to be able to create some request. So to create it, you can use some REST plugin for Chrome or any browser for now. Later we'll see how to do it in a more fancy way, more useful. So you can see say person here. Okay, and see the request method post. And here, what should we put in here? We have to put a JSON formatted string. And where do I get it from? You can just copy paste this one for now. This is kind of small, and make it bigger. Is it better? I mean, it's kind of not formatted. Okay. So let's put someone else's name. Let's say Eric, who is not here. Okay. I guess I need to make it a little bigger. You can see it, right? So you submit this, let's see what happens. Okay, now you got a person back and it created a person ID here, 510. Okay, you go to database, a new record was inserted. Okay. Now let's go back to the. So we created a person, okay? All with the same URL, just different method, post. Similarly, how can you update a person? With the update, with the URL will be little different. It will be person/person ID, and everything else pretty much the same. You can see the update person method, and it has request body again. It takes a person JSON or XML formatted, and this request body annotation will automatically convert that string into an object. And response it will send back again map or string. So let's try to update. So it was person ID was 510. So you put a 510 here. Okay, and this time request method is put. And now you have to put the person ID there. So you have to right here, we can copy it from here. Person ID 510. But we have not changed anything. So let's make it 2T here and change the date of birth to 1990, something like that. Okay. So send again. So you got back a result. Was it changed in the database? So notice in that database it is little off. You know, we put January 1st. We put a little off, but let's refresh it. So last name was 2T now, and see that this is also date of birth is changed. So again, let's change it back to correct. So he doesn't mind. So 2000 again. Okay. Anyway, so it's switch back.
I'm not seeing the date change.
Sorry,
I'm not seeing the date change.
what did you say?
Changed it to 2001.
It is little off, you know, it is 2000 some
Yeah.
date, just date, you know, what do you call it? Time. So this is 1999, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll make it 1990. So now notice. 1981 I will make. So now notice.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you need to refresh or something.
Yeah, it's refresh. But it little off. I put 1991, December 1st, it put 1980, December 31st, 6 o'clock. Some time is GMT. You have to, but it's close, right? So we were able to update, but notice the URL, this is Restful. URL is still person, but with a person ID at that. And similarly, you can delete one. You can again go to delete, and you should be able to delete. Okay, and let's not do it yet.
So is this form the ExtJs?
No, this is just a plain.
Okay.
It's called REST client for plugin. It's just a what do you call that? A plain utility where you can submit a request,
Okay.
and this JSON request, okay, and you get it here. Oh.
The plugin crashed.
Yeah, plugin crashed. Pardon me. So okay, but how do you get the person? You know, person details. So if you delete, similarly delete, and I skip the get person, update, create. I have a list, but I don't have the get. But I can just show you the demo with the get. So it's part with the get will be simply you say person ID, okay? So you get the Eric's details here, okay? But date of birth again has a conversion problem. We see the raw long numbers, so you know, excuse me for that. So is that clear so far? And we can delete. It will be more cool to show you delete from the actual form. So all these methods are, you can see your get persons, okay? So you see is a request method get, then save person, that is the one created the person, okay? And then update person. So here what you put a value, person ID, and what the curly brace mean, it's actually a variable. It's a dynamic URL because person ID will be different for me than Eric. Okay, and then you can bind to a parameter. You can bind to a parameter here with this annotation. And the next is request body is person. And this is how it is laid out, and delete, simply delete. Since whenever you're dealing with an existing resource, you put the ID in the URL. So it's a person controller, it calls person service, and person service has an interface, person service simple, and that calls something called generic DAO, which is different from regular DAO. It's just I don't have person DAO, address DAO, card DAO. We have a generic DAO. It's called okay. So that is the code structure here, architecture. Okay.
Is that a class built in the Spring, or is that something that you generic have?
Well, generic DAO is a well-known pattern. Now I wrote this class, but this is
Okay.
well-known.
Yes.
Okay. So now here comes the fast code plugin. Now we got an address resource up and running. So everything works, right? Only thing I did not show you the delete. Let's keep 2 records there. But then in a real application there will be a lot of resources, right? There will be person, there's address, there's card, whatnot, booking, flights. So let's create an address. So we need to get an address resource up and running. And how quickly can we get it up and running? So I have an address table here. I have one, okay. Just like person, when I say sample/address, so the one record should come up, okay. So you can see now we have to create the same coding structure, right? Person controller, similarly there will be address controller, but it is not there. And that's where fast code Eclipse plugin will come handy. So let's create it first, then I'll explain later. So I have has a template. Okay, so okay, actually let's.
And you pull up this, that,
Yeah, I'll come to that. A person controller is ultimately, there's a person Pojo object, Java object, right? If you pull up the person, there's a person object. And it is with Hibernate, it is able map to a person table. Similarly, I have a address class, and it is connected to, mapped to the address table. But all other supporting classes are not there. Okay, I have the ORM class. So given the address class, how can I create the other classes so it will just work? Let's see if you are able to do that. Okay. So for that you can use I guess Spring Boot, other plugin, or you can use this plugin, fast code plugin. That also helps create a lot of similar classes very quickly. So I created a J2 REST-based template, and it depends on a class. Let's say now address. Select that class, and then it will ask you some, like you have a controller, right, and a service, and you have a DAO package and DAO classes. So it will ask where are the packages that you need to put in. So it will come back and say immediately, these are the classes that will be created. And this is why I guess too small. But what it is saying, person address controller in address controller project package, address service in service, okay? And this one, address service test also it will create, but it is not checked in. It's not checked, so you can optional. Let's check it here. And now, we don't have traditional address DAO, person DAO, we have generic DAO, so we'll uncheck this to DAO. And it's set up for that situation as well. So let's say okay, let's see what it does. Okay, it created. Now it will say which classes you want to jump to. It's almost correct, everything is on. I think I forgot to put some import. Let's put organize imports in Eclipse. Let's Eclipse do that. And there's some person thing hanging around. Okay, it's the same code, I mean almost same structure, but with address. So everything is called address controller. See, everything with almost all the import and all the methods are created. Okay, and I'll get to a moment, how we did that. But does it work? We got a 404, right, on your browser. Now does it work now? Let's see. Okay. So you got the one address that was there in the database table, you pulled up. So it just works, Now similarly, what you have to do now, you have to create another address, right? Again, that will be, create will be a post method. And you have to supply a new address, okay? And when you get new address, you can actually copy this here. Copy this here and paste it. Doesn't format well.
You don't actually have to put in those new
Sorry?
lines, do you? You don't actually
No,
have
no.
to put.
It looks better.
And then did you have it open, brackets?
Yeah, these two curly braces you need. It's a JSON formatted string in it. Okay?
As the address ID and the person ID match up, or?
No, this address ID you don't even need for this. Okay? So you will delete that. We are creating a new address record, right? So let's, what will be a new record? So I say 444 Cherry Street. Okay. Address line 2 is 5555. Zip code is 7777. I guess Dallas, Texas we can keep. Okay, let's see what it does. So send the address. Oh, you get a success back but no response. I think there's some problem. But let's see if it did it here. Okay, we created one more record, okay? Now can you pull up here? Now what if we refresh? Well, we got 2 records back. Okay. And similarly, we can update.
Now, where did you get the ID for
ID is automatic,
just the next one?
Yeah, next one is sequence. So you have to change it. Again, we can do the same thing we did it for the person. In that case, you have to put the ID. ID was what? 511?
Yes.
511. And then you have to put that in the URL 511 and it's a put request. So 444, let's make it 9999 and cherry, instead of cherry, orange. And this make it 6666. Zip code make it 3333. Okay, this time we got the result back and is it updated here, database? Okay, make it orange street. And similarly, you can see here, we got orange back, right?
Mhm.
Similarly, a get address will be, oh, this something. Get address, what is wrong there? There's something, typo or something somewhere.
3 S's on the get address, for example, isn't it?
Yeah,
What did you say?
3
Line
S's on
45.
get address.
9:45.
No, it's not compiling, it's compiling or it's null.
No, up on the object it has get
Now, the
address
template I put something wrong.
with 3
So-
S's.
You see what I mean? Oh, get addresses.
Yes, yes.
That is for the other one, not for this one. This is the get person, I should call it get address. But this still should come here.
Yeah, just go.
Oh, that is really strange. Huh.
Well, your error was, it was given an integer and it's expecting a long.
No, no, it's saying wrong type of class, address, oh long, okay. Oh, you're right. The other one was integer, so I messed up my database. So if you see here, columns, address ID is a number. Oh, I think there's, yeah, something wrong. I mean, we can just simply say it is a long, okay? Right?
Then we have to fix the get address method.
And instead of that, I'll cheat a little bit. Yeah, I messed up a little bit. Oh, it's not giving me that option. So I just typecast it to integer. It's small enough. Number is small, right?
Now,
Yeah. Oh, my Eclipse is slow. Oh, Eclipse, I don't think it cannot type fast. So, what I didn't do, I didn't create it uniformly. One was long and one was. So let's see if this works now. It is now long. It didn't.
You call it cache?
Hmm? I think it must be.
see, I don't understand why you have address with 3 S's.
Oh no, for name can be anything.
Okay.
Name can. What the code generation did, it's its address, since it's a list, it tried to make a S plural. So that's the part, the bad thing about the code generation. But this one, I'm pretty sure it will work, but let's try. Is it? Yes. We have time for, so just rebuild this whole thing. I'm pretty sure it will work. Yeah, my Eclipse is slow. Okay, started. Let's reload. I think what is wrong here, if you go to the address class, this is wrong, you know. So let's change that. I don't think this time we'll have to restart. Okay? Now let's see if it will work now. This here, right?
Yeah.
Address ID, address. Oh, okay. Now this line was commented. I didn't put in the response. So that's why it is empty. Now let's put it back. Okay. So because I misspelled the type, but it pretty much worked, right? The address controller, it was created, and address service was created, okay? And the address service implementation was created, okay? And within this generic DAO was created, okay? So let me take a break, you know, and if let's say if you did a generic DAO using just Eclipse, how much, you know, how many clicks you need to make? You say resource, okay, in private, in generic DAO, okay. You see how many? Although Eclipse is giving this assistance when as you're typing in, it still takes quite a bit of time. But if you use this template, it just created right there. Now at this point, it will not give you the option to have a address DAO, it will say generic DAO. Then you have to type it in, okay? But the plugins have generated these two things automatically. Looks good? So now we created the whole structure, right? But in a real life application, there will be more things you need to do, okay? And what could be one more things? Maybe, remember when we created the person, say person here, right? We have person, we are logging the person. Maybe you want to log the person, you know. Maybe you want to log a few fields. We can always use the person toString. It will maybe log everything if you have toString defined. If not, it will put everything, right? Maybe you want to log just first name and last name. Again, this plugin helps, you know, there's a template called print fields of class, and then select class is a class-based template. So it's person, and slow. Okay, so it got all those addresses, but you can put as many. Let's put all this. So boom, it will generate this print statement. So fast, right? And let's now create another person and see if it works. So again, we have to go back to person here. Okay. And you have to put the person Let's copy this guy again. And all these other things are not needed. Okay, date of birth again we put 2000 January 1st, and this time we'll put John Smith. Okay. Oh, did not. Oh, I put, now we need to put post. You have to be careful about those. Now send. But create a John Smith, right? What about the log? Did it generate? I don't know if you can see it here.
If you go to the far right there.
See, it now logged. In the Tomcat console, it did log, right? But if you go up and see, there's no such log before. So that is, so this plugin is, beauty of this plugin is generated that piece of code so fast, you know. You want to type in, depends if you have to print 10 fields, it will take quite a while. Similarly, I'll delete that for now. So you can see first it generated the whole structure based on a class, address, address controller, address service, address simple. Now it generated some simple piece of code. So its plugin is very flexible. So let's maybe at this time tell you a little bit about the plugin. If you go to first code, it has, if you install the plugin, it will come with it. This is probably too small, no? Here I don't know how to make it larger. So let's try to open up that J2E res-based template that we. Now it's probably a little better. Okay. So here you can see it has some few construct, FC class will create a class. You can see the controller class, and you can put any number of stuff here. Then interface, it creates the service. So it created address service, interface, okay? FC class service test, it created the test, okay? And now, etc. Any question? Now similarly, print fields of class, when you did, so print fields of class, what was the template? A little bit difficult to see, I guess. Main thing is that it's not formatable. The main thing is these fields, you're looking through the fields and you generate some code, okay? So you say instance.field.getter, which created all these, person.get first name, person.get last name, this kind of thing. Okay? Then maybe you want to extract fields from the class and write some code. So you can write it. There is another template called extract fields from class, and you say person. Oh, it is. Since I used person before, it will automatically be in the cached, so you can just select it here instead of playing this browse class. And now say OK. And now let's say again formatted. So it did a person.get first time automatically assigned to a variable, line 86. right? Now you can write some code based on that, but this piece of code, would have taken some time to write. I did that pretty fast. Okay. Now we can go to a more real life application. Now person is a resource, this what you showed from the REST client, that you cannot put it up on the internet as an application. The user cannot use this kind of thing, right? Okay. So there we will create an application called Java demo. And in principle it will use a lot of resources, person, address, car, right? So right now, to do that, I have a Java demo. The Java demo controller I have. And this doesn't do much. This is a typical Spring controller. It's not a RESTful. It's just a simple web page. It just gives a little web page, and it's called Java demo. And there is called Java demo.jsp. And it has just few lines. So here you have line 36, model view Java demo. It is set up for JSP, but it can do any other XML or framework. And Java demo view is Java demo. That means it will just forward to a Java demo.jsp file. So what happens if you run it from here? That I already have it up here. So let's see what happens. Okay. It's just a blank page, but gives you a pop-up. Welcome to Java demo. Now everyone should feel welcome. So if you look at the code here, it does nothing but include a lot of JavaScripts. Okay, and what kind of JavaScripts are those? Those are ExtJs JavaScripts. Okay. So main thing is this guy Java demo.js. So let's see what is in there. Okay. So this is a typical ExtJs application. So line 5 is an ExtJs application. Okay. So let me go to the ExtJs slide briefly. Close down. So what your ExtJs, is one of the modern day, very rich, user-friendly JavaScript library. And supports MVC style programming, MVC paradigm. Then it has extensive API to create various control like text box, table, combo box, this kind of things. And easy client-side data modeling. And we will not go through much of those kind of relational models. Okay. So this is main thing in ExtJs is you start with an application, ExtJs application. And for now, what you have in the launch method, we have just ExtJs alert. Okay. So that's what you saw. It came up, so welcome to ExtJs. And the basic simple architecture, this is again MVC architecture for ExtJs, is described in their website. It's pretty much taken from there. You can go through. So its starting point is this application. Okay, but we don't have much. We just have one blank page. What to do about that? So to that, let's put some more code. Okay. Okay, let's first run it. I mean, for the JavaScript part, you have to build the application. Again, let's deploy it. So now let's see what happens. And this you don't need to enlarge it. Okay, you can go back to normal size. Okay, now you have something. So how did I get all those things? So let's go by one. So we created in the main JavaScript application, we said ext.create ext viewport. Okay, viewport is basically a container, and where you can put text box, stuff like that, panel. Okay, so I've created a simple panel, and basically it has three portions. North, which is welcome to Java demo. That is the banner. Then the center, which has the form, this form, okay, and this south portion has the grid result, okay. So how did we create all that? So whenever you create an ExtJs viewport, it automatically takes over the whole HTML, okay, and inside that you can put panels and stuff like that. So how did I create these panels in line 25? It's a small function I created. So let's look at it. So it's ExtJS form panel, okay, and this is how you create fields. You just say field level. It's a field items. Okay, it's a field set. In the set of fields, first is item, last name, okay? And we put simple two buttons. One is reset, one is submit. Okay, and that's why you see first name, text box, last name, reset, submit. Okay? And you have this nice collapsible. You see, you can collapse it like that. And all you have to do here, you have to put this line 19 collapsible true. So it's a very rich, JavaScript user-friendly library. So giving simple configuration, you can create very complex form. And all this coloring and everything, the nice look and feel, it came out of the box. You didn't have to do any styling or anything, right? But it comes. So now our goal was to put the search for a person, okay? So before doing that, let's give you a brief overview of the ExtJS MVC controllers. So ExtJS, as I said, it's a main thing is an application, okay? Then if you see line 13, you specify the controller. So the controller is the JavaScript that controls the application. You click here, what happens? That kind of logic. Okay, so the controller looks like this for now. Okay, and within the controller you have model view controller. So you have the model and the view. View is the grid, and other edit we are not using yet. And store is something extra. Store is basically the data. If you see the person store, it has a, okay. Again the name is person store, okay. And we'll discuss this detail later, okay. So now if we search something, I had one in my name, right? or nothing happens. Right? So what is happening, you're clicking the button, but it's not calling anything. So let's fix that. So there the controller will come handy. Here what you have to do here. And by no means, I'm an authority on this, but I can, simple demo, I can show you. So in the init function, you have to say the control, where the control goes. So first part, line 11, you call a button, but there are a couple of buttons. How do you distinguish? So there is an attribute. We put an attribute action search in there. So that means it's a button which has an action search. If you go to that form, you can see this button. Line 42, we put an action search there. Okay, that's how it picks up that button. So when you click on that button, this is the function that will execute. So basically, what it is showing that store, look up that store, and submit. See that person form dot get values. Whatever is in the person form, they supply that to the store, and the load page 1. Is it clear? And the store is connected to the grid. So store loads, the grid loads. So if you see the grid, you have to mention a store. Without store, the grid is useless. You have to say where the data is coming from. So whenever the store changes, the grid will change automatically. Right? So now let's build it now. Now reload. And again, welcome to Java demo. Now let's see if it happens. Something is, so put, oh, now did you see something happen? Down there, some hourglass. But we don't have a last name FS, FS, DS, DS. So let's put my name if it works. Okay, we got it back. Then what the other one we did?
Aaron.
Although I'm saying first name, I'm using only one field now. So Eric Waivast. Does it work? It came up, okay? So that was because Java demo controller, we got to the form, and the form you can supply like that. You can supply the form values to the store. Okay. Now we want to be able to create a person through here, right? And update a person. Let's see how to do that. Okay. Similarly, we have captured the event on the button on these two lines, line 10 and line 19, right? What about the click action on the grid itself? So that is where you see line 35. And since there is only one grid, we can just say grid. There is only one grid in the whole application. We didn't have to specify any other thing like action search, right? So right now, all it does is it gives you an alert, spitting out the first name. Let's see if it works. You clicked on Eric. Okay? But what we need to be able to do, we need to be able to click on it, so it updates populates the form, and then you submit it, it updates. We need to be able to do that, right? So let's see if we can do that. And to do that, I will just little bit modify. I'll put the grid in the center, and form in the bottom. Okay? So right here, Java demo.js here. So this region center, I'll make it south. And this south, I'll make it center. Okay? And now I'll slightly change the code so that the grid loads with everything. So for that, I'll make now auto load to be true. So whenever the page loads, it loads everything. You don't need to supply any parameters. Okay. And if you go to the Java demo controller, I need to uncomment these 3 lines. But by the way, when I said, in the beginning I said person, it gives you these 2 records, right? But how does it know? But REST will still allow you to supply parameters. You can say, give me person with last name ybust. So for that, REST will still, if you go to person controller, if you see get persons, it is coded that way that it accepts the last name as a parameter. Okay? Right? And how do you see it? And you can also see it in the browser like that. You can say colon, question mark, last name equal to. I guess I have to type it in. Now it's only one result. Okay? And you see my name, it will give you my name, my record. Okay, let's build this application now. So is it clear so far? Okay, now change the program so the grid loads in the middle. Forget about the title right now. Title I did not change. And this thing, it looks bad actually. It's so small. Let's fix that. It's very simple. You have to put, when you say two items with flex 1, they will take equal space. Yeah, I forgot to do that too. Okay, now let's try it again. Now it's a little better, right?
No.
Wasn't it better? What did you say?
Okay.
So what you can do, you can say south to be flex 2, so it will take double the space. And this better work. Okay? It taking more space now?
No.
Oh, it's taking more space, but is the font size getting bigger? I think that's what.
Yeah, this area, this area become bigger, but not this form, exactly this form. So that's, we can
Maybe you need to put the flex on the form itself.
yeah, that's true. Now what you have to say, I don't know how to say that it occupies the whole panel.
Because right now you're only increasing the panel behind
Right,
the form.
correct.
But if you put the flex on the form panel, then it will expand the form.
Yeah, let's just try to do that, maybe you're right. So here, so this form, you say, I don't know where you
So
say
you
that.
put it up there,
The whole thing, I don't
right
know.
there below the width, anywhere there.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't know if it will work.
Very-
Okay. No, I think it made the panel, this panel, south panel, little bigger, but did not make the actual form bigger. But are you able to see it? Yeah. So now what happens if I click on John Smith? See, it populated the form below, right? So how did it know how to do that? So again, go back to the controller code, you say grid. Since there is only one grid, this thing will kick in, and you see line 40, you get the person form. And all you simply says load record. And if the record, whatever name in the record matches the whatever name in the form, it automatically match. Okay? But how did I know how to call this event and how to call this function? So that's why you can go to ExtJs documentation and search for grid. Okay? So it's a grid. Okay? And now can you see the events here? And one of the events will be cell click, which you don't. What was that event?
It was self-click on the code. So it looks like here you have column hide and others.
Yeah, cell click should have been there.
You just go down because it maybe.
It's in alphabetical order, so it should have. Sorry? If you click on the, maybe it is on the table, there's another, because the grid it is calling. Inside the grid there is actually a table, and the table has a. Oh, I don't know if they forget. The grid itself should have it.
Is it the same version?
Yeah, it is version, but there shouldn't be too much difference. I don't know. The grid itself, but if you go to this introduction, it's all in there, that's how they say. I don't know why it's not in the documentation. So, you understand this, right? And again, how did I get to is a grid in here and form is there, different. But ExtJs is some query language. You can say, give me the form that is inside a viewport, the line 40, and then it loads the record, then it loads the record. So that part is done. You double click on or cell click. You cell click on it, the information loads. Okay. It is clear, no? Now if you do submit here, then what happens? It is still doing a search because I did not change that code. I'm reusing the same form, right? So now this code is something we need to change. We cannot. So let's do that. We cannot, no more loading. The store.load record. So if you notice here on the person form, I put a record there. Dot record equal to the record that came from there. So what I can say, person form is still required. Okay, so I can say person form on the record. There are set methods. You can set any variable. So and person form dot get values, and you can simply say here, let's copy the first name and last name. So you know what that will do? It will set the record first name column with whatever you are new typing in now. Okay? So that's what person form dot get values dot first name will do. Okay? Let's repeat it for last name. Last name. So that will change the record, okay? And you think that will, let's see what it does actually. Is 8:30, up to 8:30?
We've got till 9, but usually, yeah, 8:30 is about right.
Okay. Now we'll reload this. Okay, now click on edit. It clicked on edit, but it's loaded. Okay. Now edit's last name, change it to bypassed to T. No, did not do anything. So whenever some error happens, you can go and look at the console to debug. So let's see what is the error. So you can look at the console. The record is not defined.
You are pressing the button.
So this record here is wrong, right? Because there is no record here. The function doesn't, what you should have said is function dot get record. Yeah, now you can switch on. Okay, now let's click on Eric. It's populated. Let's make it more T. Okay, now see? Did you see a red something here?
No.
Do you see this?
Oh, yes.
That
It's hard to
means
see.
data was modified. Do you see this here?
Yes.
So data is modified, and if I change it back,
It's modified because it went in with the person ID, even though the name.
no, I changed the very white bars to 2 T's down here. If I change it back and submit again, it's gone. So it keeps track, you know. So let's make it 2T here, submit. But did it update the database? Let's see what happened with the database. Okay, it's not updated there.
So is that why it has the little red asterisk? Because it
Correct,
was not
correct.
updated?
So to do this now, we have to put just one line of code. We have all changed in memory. We have not saved the, we have not sent back the data. To do that, you just say store.sync. So that will commit the changes. Let's see
Does that
this.
send everything back in the JSON?
Yeah,
Or just the final string, just the change?
yeah, just, no, it will send it. Because whatever I'm sending, the person.record has other things, right? But I changed the first name, last name to whatever type it. So it will change the unmodified, once will be unmodified. So let's see if it does that now.
But it sounds like you're saying just for the one record. If you had 1 million records in your list, it's not going to send and sync 1 million, is it?
No, it keeps track, you know, which one is sent. And you will not load million records on a single web page.
Well, all of the ones in the middle have been sent, haven't they?
Yeah, right now it is all for demo application. But typically you will not send all million records into one page. Well, for my simple demo, so let's,
Doesn't Hibernate keep track of what's been changed and then?
Hibernate is gone because it's all now in the front end. Hibernate
Okay.
session was closed
Okay.
there. It's not anymore connected to, okay? It's now all in browser now, okay? So let's do John Smith. So John Smith, let's make it John Doe. Now what happens? See?
It was momentarily.
It was momentarily, it was red and went away. So as soon as store.sync, it so now let's check database. It is John Doe now.
But actually, when you're saving it to the database, doesn't go through Hibernate at that point?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's a
But
new
then-
request. It's a new session again.
Okay.
When you get it, it's one session. When you get it back, send it back, it's another session.
Okay.
And similarly, if you search it here, you get the person list here. You will see John Doe. Okay. But this time, I can actually change both. I mean, if you want to be very excited, you can send it to Steve Doe. It changed, right? Now there is no more John Doe. Steve Doe. So update worked, right? But remember what was the condition for update? Let's go back to person controller. Get person. What is the update person? Say, yeah, update person, right? It needs to have the person ID in the URL. Okay. So REST automatically, if you look at the person store here, I just put person here. But it created the it actually created a RESTful URL and correctly sent a correct request. Now I'll change it to, just to prove it, I'll change it to Ajax, not REST. Ajax is more plain, it's a plain basic store. Okay, let's see what happens with that.
So while we're waiting, how did the button change from search to submit when the
It
sections
was
were
never search.
rotated?
It was never search. Text was always submit. There is a parameter. I'll show you. Okay, now let's check it out now. I reload. Okay. Now Steve Doe will send it back to make it back to John Doe. Okay. Submit. It stays red. So what happened here? Again, pull back the console. It gave this error. It's too small probably, but you see the URL was submitted was localhost 8080 sample person. It did not send sample person / person ID. Okay. So that's where this REST, whenever it detects it's an update request, it automatically puts the person ID and everything goes through fine. Okay. Now when I change it back to REST, let's do something exciting. What is that? Let's delete some records. We did not delete through the REST client plugin, browser plugin. So to do that, let's so I have this, when a delete button is called, it removes the person from the store, and if you do store.sync, it will send a delete request. And let's see if that works. But if you come to the form, there is no delete button, right? So you need to put one. So let's put a delete button. So I just have to uncomment, delete. Okay, this will. Okay, I just put another button called delete. Okay. And see, the text was always submit. There is an action, hidden attribute called search, and that's what it is searching on. Okay. So ExtJs has that capability.
But action search is no longer a read-only operation. It apparently is changing things now.
Oh, that we changed long time ago. That search was used to search result. Now it is used to submit for this demo application. So now build it again. So let's go back. Now Steve Doe, let's delete it. Now there is a delete button. Okay. So I delete. Now watch the grid in the middle. Okay.
Did you say?
I began something I screwed up. Demo controller, store dot person from record, store dot remove. Oh, what is store? Store I did not. So you have to copy this one line here. Nothing more than that. You have to look up the store. Now Steve Doe is loaded, and now we'll delete what? Now I click delete. It's gone from there, but is it gone from database? It's gone from here. So it's the magic of ExtJs. When you remove something from the store and you do store.sync and you put this correct, when you destroy something, you need to put these lines, when you create post, read, get, so if you make a delete request, or it will get deleted. Now I did not do create yet, right? Let's create a new person. So how to do that? First the problem is, when I click on something, this person is in this form. So it is always, looks like it will always update, right? Because there is a person. But what happens in the beginning, when I reload, there is no person here. So maybe at that time I put something, it will try to put a post request, create. Right. But that I need to code it in. So you see this action search, I only say sync person record, okay? So I assume that person.record is there, and then I set the first name, last name. But what if there is no person record there? So I have to put a little bit of code there. So when there is an existing person available, you can say person.record exists. So in JavaScript, you just do this. If it exists, not now, you can say it like that. So then do this. Else you know how to do?
Add.
Actually, then you have to add a new record to the store because person.record is not there. So you add, and what you need to put in here? It's very similar. It's again, what you put in, go back to the REST client here. So you put in some value here, first name, last name here. We can actually put that in.
Or would you not want to pop up a screen that has all of your fields
But that is already there, right?
with those two names, two values filled in?
So that we are already typing in. But
You type in a value,
yeah,
and I think you said the name fields cannot be empty,
yeah.
but you have your create button, and it needs to then pop up birth date.
I know.
Salaries.
It's a very simple application. I'm reusing the same form to create an update. Update is when you clicked on it. I'm just not creating a very elaborate.
So you don't actually have a create button, you just click on some name, then you can modify the name and
Yeah.
store that new.
But you can never
entry.
enter the birth date or the salaries. There's no field. That's why I was
It's not a
suggesting
complete
that
application. I'm just
button.
showing with two fields. You can put up many more fields, right?
Yeah. So essentially, the birth date is not a required field, it can be null.
Correct.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Correct. And to create date fields is gets. So you basically put this one, but this is all hard coded. You cannot. Other than that, it is correct. So how do you remove the hard coding? And that code is right there in front of us. Person.get values of first name. You just put it here. Okay. Similarly, you put person.value.last name. It is there. Gender and title, we don't have text box for this, you leave it default value. And birth date also let's remove. Okay, the store.add. Sorry? Now let's build it. Come back here. Reload. Okay, now first time don't click on anything. So this form is like, what do you call this? Fresh form. There's no person inside. So I say again, John Smith, you can come back. Okay, you say submit. It appeared over there. Did you notice now it's again 3, but did it add it to database?
Go look at database because there wasn't a sync after.
Huh?
Yeah.
Or maybe there was because that was outside
The,
the
there
if
is-
else.
the sync is always there. Line 30, the sync is always there. But did not add it to the database. What happened?
Click on it.
Now let's see if I can put some. For this thing to work, the JSON, it needs to know how to create the JSON request, and for that you need to provide a writer. So let's put the writer. And type JSON. And with that thing, let's see. And one thing, okay. When you reload, John Smith is gone. Oh, some problem. You see any error here?
You don't have a comma or something after the writer close bracket like you do for the prior
Oh yeah, correct.
bracket.
Correct. Yeah, this comma is missing. I'll copy that. And now came back. Reloaded John Smith is not there, so let's type it in now. Submit. It added there. Is it in database? No. Yeah, this thing is
What if
a.
you click on John Smith right now, up top? So number 3, click on number 3.
Yeah.
Now hit submit.
There is some problem with the ID, something. Yeah, this one is a little messed up. Let's see if we can figure out something from here.
So has it ever been given an ID? Because the other ones have IDs that were given to it,
Correct.
and I don't see where you get an ID when you're submitting.
I mean, first time you create it, there will not be any ID.
The put should have assigned it.
No, ID was automatically created. First time is now. When you create one, you automatically create the next ID, next number sequence. But this is a little bit of problematic, you know. This is because I don't know.
So is store, but is store
Maybe you need the root.
doing put? We haven't invoked put.
Yeah, put is when you did the update, right? We changed John Smith to Steve Smith.
I thought put was also the create.
Create is post.
Post. Okay, so
Yeah.
did we do post?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do now. So maybe you need the root. And root is the, I don't know. The problem is the root, I think.
Or we haven't invoked action method update.
Update we did. When you updated the record,
I'm sorry.
updated and deleted.
Create.
Yeah, create, correct.
action method create.
With the create, you are having some trouble. So what the thing is new is type John Smith and submit.
Well, how did, all we did in the else was we set last name and first name.
Yeah, yeah.
Where did we invoke create?
Well, it does automatically when you, okay, let's see first if you did that. You don't have to do, you don't have to call create, only as soon as you put stuff in the store and they say store.sync, it automatically,
Implicit.
But it got no ID and create.
the ID, there will not be any ID, right? I think there is some problem with the writer, so this, I don't know if there is any error.
What does the documentation says about the writer?
Yeah, see, it's clean, there's no error here. So, but we are able to update and, right, and delete successfully.
So basically right now is
And-
updating the store, that is, which is the data store that is on the front end, but is not updating the back end right now.
After it's not making the call, and I'm not sure why this is, it should have said something here if there's an error. And we can try one more thing.
Is ExtJs using a proprietary data store on the front end to store all that information, such as MongoDB or?
Oh, no, this is all in the browser. Now we got the
Just
data
using
back,
the
it's all in
session.
it's in the browser memory, ExtJs memory. That's all. And it's all in the JSON format. Eclipse is not moving also. So let's try, I think JSON, we can try one more thing. Yeah, this should have worked, I don't know. And we can type one more thing.
So it's store add even though it's method create?
Add is adding. Add means created. So new person form, person model, okay, let's see if that works. You can also say new person model, but you have to put the whole thing, Java demo. Java demo model, person model, and this is yeah, sync should have done it. It at least adds it to the grid, but I
Is
don't
there
know.
not an extra bracket?
Oh no, they will give an error if there is. If I remove this,
Okay, that's good,
oh, it doesn't. And you can always see this this matches, and this matches this one. Let's see if it does that, otherwise we will have to leave it with that. It's very slow.
So how do you know that the store add is update to an existing store?
It's
rather
not
than
update, it's
create a
adding.
new store?
So it's adding new record to the store, right?
Okay.
So let's see if it does that now. Okay, John Smith. That part goes through fine, but updating database. No. So we'll have to live with that, there's some problem with that, but we are able to update and delete, right, through ExtJs. And it was pretty simple to do, right? So now you can make this form. So whenever you load some record into here, now how do we go back to the fresh form? So that's why we have the new reset, right? Reset button. Now add one more thing. Bruce Smith. See, added that. Okay, so, and how did I do that? Simply the reset method. When you person form the reset and record is null. When you nullify the record, implicitly because of this code here, we are checking person form the record is not null, then you do update, otherwise you do add. Only things that add did not work, it did not. Well, other than that it works, right? So couple of things, this grid, if you notice here,
So we didn't,
automatic.
so
Sorry?
for our add, we didn't have to say new person record, person form record?
We did. We did new Java demo person model. You have to say person
Oh.
model. But even if you don't say that, it's supposed to work. If you take a JSON formatted data and the names match, it will automatically create a person model. But few things about the grid, this thing, automatically you can sort. They put the sorting facility automatically. To turn it off, actually you have to say sortable forms. Then title, see title is not at the end, right? You need to sit in the beginning usually. So you can just simply drag it down here. So all these things are just out of the box comes. Or if you want to hide something, you want to columns, you can go and hide last name. It's gone. Some of the things, there's still a lot of features. And the row numbers, automatically incrementing row numbers, and how you put that. So if you go to the grid, so all you have to say is row number. All you have to say is this, it will automatically put row number. Now let's say you have to group certain columns, right? First name and last name, you have to put under name, then first name, last name. To do that is very easy. You see, all you say is this. So you first name, last name you put on inside another column, and this is just simple grid column. Okay? And you can keep width 100 like this. Align, and text is name. This is the full name, right? Full name. Looks good here. And you have to close it here.
Seems a little odd to have a width of 100 when your two fields have a width of 350.
Huh? I did not catch your question.
First name has a width of 100 and last name has a width of 250, so in total
Yeah,
you
those
have a
are
width
just
of 350. So it's odd that full name has a width of 100.
Yeah, you are right. And this, so let's bring it 100, 100. 100, 100, and here this is 200. Okay?
Okay.
I was curious how the ExtJs was going to resolve that.
You want him to go back to 100?
Yeah, let's see the happy part, then you can see. So if you reload now, I missed something. What is it I missed? Oh, this full name, last item cannot have a comma. Yeah, the build is slowing us down, right? What is wrong now? Read column. Do you see anything wrong? I think something typo. Nothing more than that. Oh, you don't put just like that. You said, then you say items, array, okay, and you close the items here. Okay, make sense? Stop working.
So
Don't you need a closed bracket just before items?
No. Where inside the grid column there are items. Oh, again I
One comma.
messed up some.
Yes, I guess he's
This better work. Otherwise we'll be here all night. Now I don't find anything. Do you find anything now?
Can you pull up your console? See
Yeah,
what error and
console.
line number
Yeah,
is?
correct. Unexpected identifier. Which line? Line 26. Items. I don't know if these items or columns. Some,
columns.
yeah, maybe this. I thought it is items. Otherwise, we'll give up this one also. Okay. All right. Oh,
No.
at least there's no problem. Yeah, forget it. You know, this is.
great.
There's some settings I don't remember exactly right now. Okay. So now next thing is okay. Let's go back to the beginning. Now we created one simple application with how many resources? Just one resource, right? So typically the one application will be lot of resource, right? It will take a, like in a, working in a Walmart, so they will have an application called sales demo. It will have person, customer, insurance, car, product, you know, to the 100 resource. So let's see how we can, just like we have built Java demo, so it goes back to that. Okay? Java demo, can we build another application which we will just call pool demo. But in Walmart will be like sales demo, and airline company it will be booking demo, something like that, right? Again, going back to fast code Eclipse plugin, just like from person controller, person resource we created address resource, we are able to create new address and all that. So similarly, will pool demo work? Let's try. Similarly, we have another template, and we call it ExtJs base. Okay. There's a project and module, we call it pool demo. Okay, this one second. ExtJs base. So it's almost read my mind, it put pool demo already. And first thing what you need, the base folder for JavaScript, okay? Just put that, our scripts folder should be the base folder. The sample, src, main, web app, scripts, right? Controller class, if you notice, there is no star, so that means it is not required, so we will not put it. And controller package, like Java demo controller, we need another school demo controller, right? So let's put this package. And items are the resources that you can try to use. We have person contract and person address, but then we pay contact, card, I don't know, flight, so many resources will be there, right? So let's put a flight, and what else? Car. Just to show that it can have default value. It came up with 4 already, right? So because there's some, and title, make it cool title. So, okay. Again it will come up and say these are all the files that will be created. Okay. It's too small, I guess. But you can see all this create a car model, text model, contact model, car store, page store, okay? And pool demo content and pool demo.jsp. So let's see if it creates all that. So it takes a minute. It created, boom. So pool demo controller. It created, okay? See pool demo.jsp. It created. And automatically put pool demo.js or the JavaScript, okay? So let's try to build it quickly. Show view. So now we got follow for, right? When you type pool demo, now let's see what you get. We should be able to get a welcome page, okay? Come, welcome to pool demo. So what happened? They created the whole package. No, it's not working anymore. So if you go to the package, so where is package? Okay, if you see here, it created the whole structure, Java demo, pool demo structure. Okay, then controller, this is still pool demo controller. So it will create the basic code over there, right? Store, all the store, can you see? Address store, person store, flight store, okay? And similarly model, and similarly in the view, it will create, okay?
But see, now we have more than one grid. Didn't we have some code that didn't specify which grid we were going to use?
Correct. Now if you see the grid, address.grid, it needs to have reference to the address store. Okay, so it will automatically match it and put it here. Similarly, if you have an address, it's very difficult. Eclipse is okay. Similarly, address store, it needs to have the reference to the model, address model line 11, and it will automatically put. So if you have like 10 resources to create the whole structure, it will take whole day, but you can create so easily, and it works. You show it again. it gives you a launch pad immediately. So go back to this is the first code, you can see the downloads. Then conclusion, as you reach client side controls, you can create with the ExtJs. And it has a very good REST, support for REST, consistent look and feel, etc. And fast code plugin can help, You can use, there are other code generator, of course. Yes, you can, when you buy ExtJs, you can buy their GUI tool where you can put controls manually. And then if you have any question, you can contact at this admin@triplintech.com, which is the company behind fast code Eclipse plugin. I hope you like that demo.
All right. Thank you, Gautam. We're always looking for speakers. I think we've got 2 speakers lined up, or likely lined up for the next couple months. But if anybody would like to speak or know of anybody who has some subject relating to Spring where you could present, give me an email. Other than that, thanks for showing up. Hope to see you next month.
Thank you. Thanks for hosting.
Glad to be here.